What's up everyone? Just finished watching Pokémon Presents for today, August 18th, 2021. Overall thoughts on the entire thing right away. Really good. Super happy with it. I think personally one of the best Pokémon Presents that we've ever had. I'm just going to give a rundown of what we saw and give my thoughts on everything. So the first thing we saw was some more details on Pokémon Unite. Pokémon Unite is really topical right now, so it's good to start off with this. First of all, it's coming to mobile phones on September 22nd with crossplay to Nintendo Switch users, so people on phones will be able to play with Switch users and vice versa. We already knew this was happening, but it's still exciting news for those that maybe don't have a Switch yet. They can experience Pokémon Unite on mobile. And Pokémon Unite's super fun, so it's great to get more and more players into that player base. In addition, some pretty cool news. 2 new playable Pokemon were also revealed for Pokémon Unite. First, Mamoswine as well as Sylveon, one of the evolutions. Now, we didn't see much of these, but it looks like Mamoswine is going to be a big bruiser character with some crowd control moves, which are always fun. And Sylveon, I could see either being an attacker or healing support, not sure yet. If I had to guess based on just what I know of Sylveon as a Pokemon, I could see it as healing support, but I don't know. Its move in the trailer looked to be some sort of nuke that hit an area of an effect around the Pokemon and knocked out 3 other ones, so who knows, we'll have to wait and see more on that. Definitely looking forward to those Pokemon coming to Pokemon Unite soon, especially Mamoswine, as it looks to suit my playstyle and looks like something I would use. Next, the Pokemon-themed puzzle game Pokemon Cafe Mix is getting a revamp. This fall, the game will be refreshed and it will be called Pokemon Cafe Remix. So that's exciting for fans of that game. The update looks pretty substantial and definitely going to be enough to keep things fresh for players going into the foreseeable future. We also got some new details on the 2-year anniversary events for Pokemon Masters, the mobile game, and those are kicking off today. For example, if you log into Pokemon Masters right after the presentation, you get a bunch of free gems, and we just got more details on events and sync pairs that are coming up. And the final item before we get to the big news on the Switch games, more details were given on Pokemon Go's Galar event, which will take place on August 20th. This event will introduce Galar Pokemon to the game, including Wooloo, Squavette, Phalanx, and the box legendaries Zacian and Zamazenta. Now, for the real meat of the presentation, we finally got a brand new trailer for Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, the Diamond and Pearl remakes coming to Nintendo Switch. And right off the bat, the games look far more complete than they did in the initial reveal. We kind of got a hint at that at the Switch OLED reveal trailer, and that looks to be fully realized in this trailer. I love the style of this trailer. It was kind of quirky how they zoomed in on certain dialogue boxes, and the music was really good. They emphasized really well some of the more exciting points that are coming to the game. I have to say, it's one of the more epic Pokemon trailers I've ever seen. So that's really exciting, makes me really hyped for the games to come. They're coming very soon too, so that's great. We got a really good look at some of the visuals, some of the different areas in the game, and in my opinion, it looks gorgeous. I was a fan of the art style from the very beginning. I know the art style got a little bit of hate, but I really like it. It offsets the kind of more realistic looking Sword and Shield / Legends Arceus type style with the taller trainers. I like the smaller, shorter, chibi looking trainers, but then I like how when it transitions into battles or certain cutscenes, the models are extended to give it a little more detail. I just think it's a really charming art style, fits Pokemon really well. And then what we got next was first of many moments where my head kind of exploded during this presentation. We got the confirmation of following Pokemon in the Diamond and Pearl remakes. So if you recall back to games like Heart Gold and Soul Silver, where one Pokemon in your team, you could get it to follow you around the overworld, that is returning in Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. That's something I really didn't expect or theorize for these games, so I'm super excited that they decided that was a detail they wanted to include. I'm really happy about that. We also got a look at Pokeball customization. So you can add certain stickers and certain effects to Pokeballs in this game to give them a certain look or certain effects when thrown and Pokemon are released. So that's a cool little bit of increased customization. I can see myself playing around a little bit with that. Nothing too crazy there, but a fun addition nonetheless. And the trailer also revealed the addition of the Union Room. So this is a multiplayer mode where you're able to visit the Union Room and interact with other trainers. I believe the trailer said both locally and online in real time. We didn't get too much detail on it, but I'm looking forward to seeing what comes from that going forward. It looks like trades and battles like the original Union Room, but I'm excited to see if there's any further development there. Also, we got the reveal of trainer customization returning from Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. So this is always fun to be able to customize the look of your player character and their clothes. I think it looks really great. They showcase some of the outfits and it looks good on the kind of chibi looking characters. I think the customization aspect is a good fit with the art style for Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. So definitely a strong addition there. Excited for that. And another huge one, the confirmation of the Sinnoh Underground returning from the original Diamond and Pearl games. This was one of the main connectivity multiplayer type features in the original Diamond and Pearl. And I'm happy to see that it was returning because it was super fun. The digging sections looks like they are returning as well, and it looks like you can use touch controls while you're in handheld mode to do some of those digging sections, so that's interesting. Kind of cool how they're using the touchscreen feature, which is still available on the Switch when you play in handheld mode, to mimic some of the functionality that the Nintendo DS brought. Next, in the same vein as the Underground, are the secret bases. So secret bases return, you're able to decorate your secret base with statues, and apparently this determines which Pokemon will appear in an all-new feature called Pokemon Hideaways. This is another part of the presentation that got me super hyped. It looks like there is a mini slimmed down version of a wild area type place in these games. These Pokemon hideaways are essentially open areas where you can walk around and see Pokemon spawning in the overworld, and you're able to battle and catch these Pokemon. And it's confirmed that there'll be Pokemon unique to this feature. So that'll be interesting to get more details about as things move forward. This looks to be a really interesting part of the game. I think there's going to be a meta revolving around which statues you should get for the best type of Pokemon's spawns in the hideaways. It's going to be really interesting to see what results from this new feature. And these Pokemon hideaways, they really affirm Pokemon's commitment to become more immersive with the Pokemon games as a whole. For example, starting in the Let's Go games for the Switch, Pokemon were appearing in the overworld, wild Pokemon, and that has continued into Sword and Shield and has now made its way into these remakes. While not for the entire game, for these areas in the hideaways, Pokemon will appear on the overworld and you'll be able to battle them. So it's cool that Pokemon's not fully taking a step back to random encounters in the grass. And in some way, shape, or form, they're bringing the overworld Pokemon to Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, which I think is an important step for the future of Pokemon, setting the message of the style of the games going forward. And the final big detail of these games is Pokemon contests are returning, which is something we haven't seen in a very long time, so that's exciting. They look to be revamped too. They almost look like a rhythm game from what I could gather, pressing buttons at the right timing and things like that, which should be fun to check out. I remember enjoying Pokemon contests and games in the past, thought they were interesting, so hopefully they are brought to new heights in these remakes. Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl are set to release for Nintendo Switch on November 19th, so not too far away now. Also, a Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl Dialga and Palkia Switch Lite edition is releasing a few weeks before the games on November 5th. It looks really great, and it's a nice callback to the DS Lite edition that went alongside the original DS Diamond and Pearl games. The pattern is pretty much identical. So this is a perfect little special edition for those who might be looking to get a Switch just for these games. You can grab this Pokemon Special Edition for the Switch Lite price point, so that will definitely attract some of those that are Pokemon fans but do not currently have a Nintendo Switch. And now for the big one, we got kind of an info blowout on Pokémon Legends Arceus, and it looks amazing. This was so good. I'm still shook from it, and now I'm even more excited. So right off the bat, initial reaction of the trailer, the world looks way more filled out. Some complaints that the world kind of looked empty, but I think those concerns can totally be put to bed now. We see the environments, they're teeming with Pokemon. The city now has a lot more detail to the world map overall, just looks a lot more lived in, and it looks like it's going to be more fun to explore than the version we saw in that initial reveal trailer, so that's great. The music in this trailer was awesome too. I love that main track. We got a better look at some of the areas, different biomes, so the field that we all knew, but also a better look at the beach and snow areas, as well as that main town. And it was revealed that this game is set in a time where people and Pokemon weren't as close. They lived separate lives, which explains some of the stuff we'll see later on in the trailer with some wild Pokemon actually attacking the trainer. So that's a whole new angle because these games are set in the past. They're going to be the earliest set Pokemon games. As you can tell from the Pokeball, it looks like it has almost a wooden design. So these games are set far in the past, and that's a little bit of detail that gives a little bit more context on why this game is how it is. And early on in the trailer, we got our first look at what I thought was a new regional form of Stantler, but actually we found out later it's an all-new Pokemon, a regional evolution. So that confirms regional evolutions for this game, which is extremely hype. I sort of had a feeling this was coming, but to get confirmation on it now is awesome. We also here get some more shots of the main town, which seems like it will be sort of the main hub for the game. And we also meet some of the NPCs, including the professor of the region. Next, we get a better look at the catching mechanic, so we can see how we can sneak up on wild Pokemon, and also we throw the ball in real time, so we aim and we throw at Pokemon. We saw this in the initial trailer, but we just got a little more footage of it. It looks really interesting, like a really fun change up to the original Pokemon formula, so I'm looking forward to seeing more on that. We also see a new regional form of Growlithe. Man, this thing is awesome. Not only is it adorable, it confirms that there are regional forms for this game. This region is going to have regional forms. We don't know. There is probably more where this Growlithe came from, so I am expecting at least some more regional forms for this game. But we did see this Growlithe. It's hinted that it might be part rock type, or at least know some rock moves, based on the explanation of its horn being made out of rocks, and it looks like it's using Rock Slide or some move like that. We also get a look at the home base, which is set up out in the field. So this is where you prep for each outing. Kind of reminds me of Monster Hunter a little bit in style, how you prep for the missions. So it is confirmed that in this game there will be missions that you have to take on. So very similar to a Monster Hunter type deal, where you take on missions at the base and set out into the open area to accomplish these missions, kind of like quests for NPCs and other things like that. I'm sure we'll see more on this system later, but that's cool. I'm glad the games are being structured like that, and I'm excited to see more. Now, this was the big moment for me. This was something I was really hoping for, so it kind of blew my mind when I saw it. So it's the epic reveal of the player character charging toward the cliff, and I was just going, dive off, dive off. And the character did dive off, and a new regional form of the Pokemon Braviary scooped them up. This part got me out of my seat, I'm not gonna lie. So the dream of having free-flowing flight in this game is actually going to be realized, which is amazing. And it gets better as we soon see the player riding the new regional evolutions. So in one scene, we see the player riding the Stantler evolution across land. And there is also a Basculin regional evolution, which looks epic, by the way. So there are 3 types of riding Pokemon in this game confirmed so far. Flying, land, and water mounts, all confirmed for Pokémon Legends Arceus, which is amazing. Probably my favorite part of the whole presentation, so if you can't tell, I'm hyped for that. After the trailer, we got some of the finer details on the things we saw. So the region is confirmed to be called the Hisui region, and the regional forms are Hisuian forms. So that's what they'll be called, Hisuian evolutions and Hisuian forms. Then we learn about Jubilife Village, which seems to be the precursor to Jubilife City, because this Hisui region eventually becomes Sinnoh. And we learn more about the Galaxy Expedition Team. This is the organization the Professor Laventon, is a part of. It's confirmed that the Professor gives you your starter Pokemon, and we meet another member of the Galaxy team, Silene, and also Kamado. 2 important NPCs that will probably guide you in the story progression of this game. We also learned through this that some of our main outings will be survey expeditions. So we are Pokemon researchers aiming to fill a Pokedex. We learn about the campsite where we can prepare by crafting and purchasing certain items. It looks like we're going to be able to collect materials and craft items, which is great news. I'm a fan of those kind of systems, and having that in an RPG like this just seems like a perfect fit. We also get a little bit more on the catching system as well as the battle system. So the battle system looks really interesting. So it's more action RPG-ish. You have this action order over here. So depending on the Pokemon's speed stat, that determines the order of attack in the battle, and certain Pokemon, they can even strike multiple times per turn based on their stats and their abilities. There are 2 battle styles, so strong style and agility style. So it looks like there's going to be a little bit more nuance to the battle system than in a traditional Pokemon game. We're going to be able to switch between strong style and agility style depending on the situation. The trailer mentioned that strong style is better for knockouts and big hits, whereas agility style is more for quick hits during the flow of battle. We also get more info on the regional evolutions and forms. Whirldeer is the name of the Stantler regional evolution. I really like the design. It kind of just looks like a Stantler with a beard, but I kind of like that. Simple. It kind of has a legendary Pokemon vibe to it, but I know it's not a legendary, being an evolution of Stantler, which is just a normal Pokemon. But very cool nonetheless. We also get Basculegion. Kind of a funny name, but that is the name for the Basculin regional evolution. I really like the design on this one. It gives me like a Gyarados mixed with Basculin type vibe. Also, we get to see regional forms of both Braviary and Growlithe. Hisuian, Braviary, and Growlithe, which we both saw earlier in the trailer, are given more detail. Braviary gains a Psychic typing, or at least is able to use Psychic type moves, and Hisuian Growlithe, again, like we mentioned earlier, looks to retain its Fire typing, but may have a Rock typing, or at least is able to use Rock type moves. I'd have to assume that there is going to be a Hisuian Arcanine that evolves from this type of Growlithe, so I'm really looking forward to see that. That design is probably going to be really epic. I can imagine just like the floating white tufts of hair on an Arcanine is going to look really majestic. But man, overall, these games look fantastic. BDSP as well as Legends, they have me beyond hype. The very last tidbits of info we got for these games is that they will have connectivity with Pokemon Home, so that's great news. I'm not sure if this means Pokemon from this game will be transferable to Pokemon Sword and Shield and vice versa, but we'll have to wait and see. At least we know that there is going to be connectivity of some form to Pokemon Home, so that is an encouraging sign. And finally, for competitive players, Sword and Shield will remain the standard right now for competitive versus matches, which is really interesting. If I had to guess, I would have said that BDSP would become the new standard for competitive, but that's not going to be the case. So I wonder if that gives us any clues into the direction the Pokemon company's possibly going forward with future games and generations. If, say, Pokemon Legends is a success, will Pokemon Company be looking to shift the main RPG games like Sword and Shield, the upcoming Generation 9, to that style? Or will Generation 9 be a game more like Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, or Sword and Shield with a little bit of elements of both? And continue in this sort of structure where we have one game which is a more traditional Pokemon experience harking back to the older games. Maybe that could be a black and white remake or remakes going into the future. Then we'll have the main core competitive game, be that a Generation 9 Sword and Shield type game. And then we'll have this third pillar now of a open world exploration, mission structure, more Monster Hunter-ish exploration focused game like Legends. It's going to be really interesting to see what comes going forward, because Sword and Shield right now, it seems like halfway between Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl style and Legend style. So maybe these releases right now are a test from the Pokemon Company on which versions fans like better, and that will inform them of the direction to take the series going forward. Not sure, just kind of brainstorming, but it seems like we're in a transitional period in Pokemon right now, so that makes me really excited just for things to come. And all of these games look great, so super happy with what we got. Let me know in the comments your thoughts and if I missed anything, and subscribe for more discussions like this in the future. It's a great time to be a Pokemon fan right now, so I'll be looking forward to more information on these games coming soon and getting my hands on Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl in just a few months. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and keep it here for more quality Nintendo content.